We discussed Remgro and HCI's industrial assets. So put the context together here.
Look, by industrial, it's a bit of a grab bag of everything else, the other half of Remgro's interests. So, I mean, it's like a long shopping list, some of which are unlisted, like Unilever South Africa, like Total South Africa, like Air Products, which is a competitor to Afrox. Amongst the others are, in fact, listed businesses. So you get things like big chunk of Mediclinic, big chunk of Rainbow, which is busy doing stuff as well, you know, and then a whole slew of other things that I'm not kind of reeling off here. But trust me, there's some big assets in here. And the board sits and looks at these, and then the CEO, Yanni Durant, and his executive directors, you know, sit on boards and so on.
And
they've
decide where they're going to give a little more pressure.
They see deals that are not shown to other people. You know, opportunity to invest in Grindrod, opportunity to build out the dark fiber Africa business, because they've got such a big track record and a big checkbook.
Talk to us about HCI's industrial assets.
I think the one that would come to the fore here would be Golden Arrow buses. And you know, do you classify that as an industrial? Yes, I suppose you do. And they've got quite a few other industrial companies in there as well, but they're all relatively small to my way of thinking. So
the sheer size of the Remgro portfolio is going to outrank here.
I think the sheer size and the diversity of Rembrandt's portfolio, yes, it makes it much better, I think, than HCI.
But while we're on a roll and talking about industrial interests, we might as well throw the media interests in there as well. And interestingly, there's a little bit of an overlap here between these two groups, because the ETV business, which of course is the ENCA channel as well as ETV free-to-air TV, there's a little bit of a Remgro stake there. And these groups have actually worked together in the past. They held a stake together in Vodacom. So I think that's another thing worth putting on the table. I like those assets within the HCI group as well.
And you obviously like the television and asset within that HCI stable.
Undoubtedly. You know, I thought we were talking purely on the industrial side. But if we throw in the media side as well, that makes a big difference.
In fact, that's the most exciting part of the group for you, isn't it?
Without a shadow of a doubt. 63% of ETV and the other parts that go with that. Look, I think unless and until we get the new dispensation in broadcasting, where we get terrestrial digital television, that I think will really start propelling ETV way into the stratosphere compared to where it is now. But it's done exceptionally well up until this point. I think it'll do an awful lot better once they get that. So I think that's been a huge strategic holding for them, and it's done exceptionally well.
Paul, is that the jewel in the crown?
You know, media interests are quite interesting because you know, content is king, I should tell you. The trouble, of course, is that it's very competitive and the platform issues are quite complicated. So, you know, one moment you might think, well, television is where it's at. The next moment, you know, some of your youth audiences are starting to go online, and that starts to create problems. Surely in Africa, we have a big bandwidth problem. So you're not really going to see, I think, an enormous shift to web-based entertainment for the time being. So I think that platform is still very powerful. Obviously, ETV has a foot in both the DSTV multi-choice signal as well as in the free-to-air thing. But I think the advertising base there is good. We're in a consumer-driven economy, and a lot of people want to advertise to that free-to-air audience.
Let's just chat a bit about management. Yanni Durant, you mentioned in terms of the Remgro stable, and then Marcel Golding on the HCI front. And also, who partners Marcel on that HCI? Johnny Copeland. How do we stand on comparing the two management teams?
Remgro, top notch. I mean, it's really an investment driven vehicle. So the fact that it's got a board with those big South African business geniuses on it, like Johan Rupert, Paul Harris, Gigi Ferreira.
Stellenbosch
I mean, that's extreme, because those guys have seen it all, you know, all four ways. So when a new opportunity comes, they ask all the right questions. And then they've got talented young executives like Yanni and so on. But also HCI, top quality there as well. Johnny Copeland is widely regarded as one of the brightest guys on our business scene. They pulled some real clever tricks to get to this point where, as I said, they own the Tsogo stake. I suspect they'll continue to do more deals like that and consolidate the portfolios.
On the industrial portfolios, who is edging ahead? We did say at the outset that just the size of the Remgro portfolio outranks what we're seeing from HCI, but size isn't everything, Paul.
Yes, look, the industrial interests are slightly less exciting to me on the Remgro side. There's such enormous diversity there that, you know, you can kind of have a period where one's doing well and the other's not doing well, and it all just kind of gets washed along. To their credit, though, they're not in some stuff that they used to be, and they used to be much bigger in mining, as you'll remember. Yeah. that's not done well. So, that's another example of how important that top level vision is.